so thankful to be able to spend this time with you. These live readings have been so exciting and so enlivening in my life. To continue to show up with you every day, almost every day, has been, just such a beautiful experience. So thank you for your time. Thank you for joining me here today. My intention is to hold impeccable space for whatever it is that needs to come through for those who are showing up with us live and for those that are watching the replay. And of course, if you're watching the replay, the way that I see these videos being recorded or made is that whenever you find them, no matter when or where you're at, no matter whenever you find them, it is exactly the right moment for you. And that is what is going to bring in all of the energy of who's watching it here and now and who's watching the replay is going to be here present with us today. So as I set the prayer and set the intention to hold absolutely impeccable space for all of us, I'm also going to ask that all of your guides, all of my guidance, come here through with us today and to create a very clear channel of insight, of healing, of acknowledgement, of power, of presence, and honoring the absolute, true, authentic self that is within you in every single moment. So encouraging that part of you to really start shining, that part of you to really start radiating, and bringing your true light and true intention to the forefront of every action that you take. So let's go ahead and set the tone, set the energy with the prayer. And for those of you that are here with me live, please do let me know if you would like to tap in and do a reading. And if you're feeling particularly shy, we could just go ahead and jump in and start with the channel. All right, beautiful. So taking a couple nice big deep breaths. As we call in divine truth and love into this sacred space, we invoke the highest possible healing to each and every viewer, replayer, and myself. We ask for the courage and compassion to speak and to hear from the purest form of self-love and forgiveness to all involved. Beautiful, and taking a couple of really nice, clear, big, deep breaths. Just setting your intention. What is it that you would like to receive? What is it that you would like to get out of this? Allow your heart to be open. Allow your mind to be open. And just allow whatever needs to move through you by means of healing, by means of letting go, all of that that does not serve you, and accelerating into a new trajectory, into a new world, into a new light, into a new just life experience in general. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I'm actually just feeling a lot of energy moving through me, so I'm just going to continue talking and allow that channel to be open. Ya otana ya uapuaka ha'anakai o sayatana ia ha'akapu uata ana ia aka uanakai itu utu unakuapua ha'aka sasanai itiana ayakua ha'ana ia wa awapuaka anaya atanakia a. Just setting a prayer of intention out there that those of us who are connected to our soul family are brought into the physical presence of them now. For those members of our own soul family that are incarnated, that are embodied right now, that are in the global vicinity of us, that they be connected to us in this present time, here and now life experience, so that we can start to feel that home resonance, anchoring even more so in our bodies, so that we can feel that home resonance anchoring even more so in our aligned actions and who we're choosing to work with and who we're choosing to collaborate with and who we're choosing to cook with and who we're choosing to go for walks with. Allowing those soul family, those resonant frequencies of that home note to be activated in a brighter sense. And I'd love for you, if you're watching this now or whenever it is that you're watching this, if you have this experience where within the next week of listening to this video, that you start recognizing that you're connecting in with soul family or soul connections, I'd love for you to come back and comment on here and let me know. because I would love to connect in with you a little bit more on that and to see how this is working as well here in our third dimensional reality. What I've seen is a lot of, like, let's say, cosmic traveling, and people that get really excited about opening these channels and doing things that are new to them, or maybe even just cosmically exploring. It's a beautiful thing. We say yes, do that. But what's really, really important is that there's a component of that that can sometimes feel, let's say, a little bit like the metaverse, where you get out of touch with your physical body and you get out of touch with your physical reality, this third dimensional world that we are living in and embodied in and able to participate in life, that there's something really powerful that we all get to experience as we open our channels to receive that which is here for us now. The beautiful Aya wanatai iowa haakanai asia atini ia haaka pu utai oa haanai iaka ana ia uapu sayata oa ya haanata I oa ia inata tiki I uapu ukua haasasana ia kuapua iata niawa akua atana I iaka atana iaka. There's a prayer of encouragement coming through that is asking each of us to open our hearts even just a little bit more. Just a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. So that we can be more connected to the layers of pain or sadness or grief or sorrow that are keeping us from being able to truly connect with that internal space within our own heart. That when there are certain things or certain emotions that we don't give ourselves time enough to pause and connect in with, what happens is it starts to build up almost like a storage unit inside of our own heart. And so when that storage unit starts getting really full, it's harder and harder to connect in with that internal core part of our being. The monad, the aspect of ourselves that is so divinely connected to source, our very own creator. However you see that is welcome here. However you experience that energy is welcome here. So when we're connecting into that deeper space inside of our heart that reminds us of that home essence and reminds us of our connection to the greater experience of all that is, when we're holding grief, when we're holding pain, when we're holding protection or guards or barriers that keep other people out, we're actually also not allowing ourselves to experience ourselves in our fullest extent. So taking a nice big deep breath in through the nose, releasing down root chakra all the way to the center of the planet. And simply let go. Let go of all that is weighing you down. Let go of all that is creating or causing weightedness or nervousness, anxiousness. Allow yourself to just simply wave a little bit. Feel your body moving gently to the rhythm of the energy that's moving through you, allowing this very gentle, healing essence. Just gently acknowledge, gently touch on your nervous system. Whether you are emotionally exhausted or financially stressed, or out of connection to that internal place, to the well within your heart. Yawa anaya kuapua sa anaiti ki ia haakanai, asusunai hi itia wapu kua haatanakai, iawa ua satana I titiani kia haaka, asasane ia katana kuapua haakanaya ia katanaya. Iawa susuanaya ayatanai ki iakai, Yo onai hi ia tana ia tatake. Yo onai ia tana hi ia ka. Ia haa ia nai ia wa ua pukua. Ia sa enai ia haa ka anai. I ua nai I sa ana atua puaka. Ia ta aia haa ua pu uniaka. Ia sa sanai ia ta ia. So in order for us to be very clear with our intention in anchoring light frequencies into this earth, into this world, into this material reality that we're living in, it is really important for us to be grounded and anchored in our bodies. So making sure that we're eating good food, making sure that we're not numbing out with our phones or social media or being distracted or addicted to these things that are pulling on our energy, they're pulling on our attention, and that are not allowing us to fully be resonant with that divine truth within. That's what we really want to take inventory of in this moment and give yourself permission to let these things go, let these behavior traits and let these actions go. Just simply take inventory and see what you see, notice what you notice. All right, beautiful. Now that we have a little group here, let's go ahead and start with the live readings. Is there anyone here who is feeling really called or even just medium called to have yourself read? And again, as we do these readings, it's I want to remind us that even if I don't say your name in particular, the healing and the message is still for you. When we do it in these larger containers, there's a channel, there's an intention, there's an insight that allows the connection for everybody who is listening to be able to receive the upgrade, to be able to receive the insight, to be able to receive that which is coming forward. Beautiful. Amy, thank you so much for being here and thank you so much for volunteering. Let me go ahead and tune in. Ia nei ia o koa haata aka nei ia a sasanai ia wapua. Beautiful. You feel amazing. Your word to leave other behind. Please elaborate on that, Jennifer. I'd love to discuss that a little bit more. Amy, what I'm seeing in your field is it's actually that it's very important for you to dance. It's very important for you to dance more and just move your body. What they're showing me is your stream of alignment is flowing through your body, but it's flowing through your body like an S, and we want to keep that like balanced in clarity, balanced in just like whoop, everything's aligned, right? So what I'm seeing is it's all there. You have all the pieces. So what's important is that it's important for you to dance. Hi, Gracia. I'm so glad that you're here. Okay. Dance, dance, dance. Move the energy through your body and really listen to your body in the way that it wants to dance. It may make like funny movements, that maybe you're not like, ooh, so attractive, but it doesn't matter. It's that your body needs to move and however it needs to contort itself to move the energy through. And that is how you'll be able to feel that you are back into the alignment. So whatever stress you're feeling or whatever anxiousness you're feeling, or where you're like, why isn't it here yet? I've been doing all my work, I've been manifesting, I've been scripting, I've been writing, I've been channeling, I've been whatever it is that you have been doing. Because what I am seeing is that what you have been doing is working. There just needs to be more body movement. And having that body movement in is going to help move the energy through your body in a way that's going to be, very helpful, very unique, very captivating, very compelling, and very magnetic to that which you're calling in. So the more that you can dance and the more that you can move and the more that you can feel more comfortable in your body. And that's really what the theme is here for a lot of us. And one of the things, I need your path so clear is pushing away my loved one. Okay, yes, we'll address that. One of the things that is being really, really called right now, it is the embodiment. It's the embodiment, it's the embodiment, it's the embodiment. It's so important for us to connect the embodiment And what I mean by embodiment is being absolutely present here and now, but consciously present. So you may have been embodied when you were working out 3 days a week and you were feeling really good and you were drinking your smoothies and you were drinking your green juice and you were eating your vegetables and you were doing these things. These are things that actually really support embodiment. But it's very possible that there are a lot of people that are embodied, they're in their bodies, but they are not conscious of themselves and their body. And so what we're doing is we're building this bridge so that you are consciously aware of the importance of the embodiment. And the importance of the embodiment brings you into a new state of being that allows you to be a conscious co-creator. It isn't just life is flowing, life is happening, and you can logically put some pieces together. It's that there is a conscious co-creation with energies that are beyond the physical realm, beyond what we can see, hear, taste, and touch, that there is a different sort of palpable energy. And so that's what we're talking about. It's like when you're in your body and you're like going through life and maybe you are holding a lot of pain and maybe your life is just okay and things are going great. But then what happens is the wheels start churning and it's like, okay, there's got to be something more to this life. There's got to be something else here. There's got to be, like, this can't just be it. And so when those wheels start turning, there becomes an exploration of something new. And that's like when people start to find me. There comes a time when there's an exploration of something more, or a curiosity of something more, or a desire to know, what's around the next bend, what's going to help me understand more of my purpose. And so that's what we're talking about, is it's bringing these things together. So it's bringing the awareness that you are a conscious co-creator, that you are an energy being, an infinite and immortal energy being in a physical body here in this world. And so you become aware that you are in this world, not of this world. That's when things start to really shift and change. And so, Amy, what I'm seeing for you is that the dancing is going to help the embodiment, but it's also going to help bring you into a flow state where you can really just be clear and dialed in with your meditative and meditative flow and embodiment of, like, yes, this is where you are. You're here in this present moment, and everything else just dissolves and everything else just falls away. And that's when you'll start to feel that your higher self is just naturally putting everything in alignment for you. And so it's an effortless meditation. It's a joyful meditation. It's a practice meditation. That's what's going to bring you into the center of your own illumination and well-being. Beautiful. So, Jennifer, yes, this is a common thing. When a person is in partnership, in fact, in my high-level programs, I will not work with somebody that isn't a couple if their partner is not also on board with growing and doing some of the work and doing some of the programs, because of how fast, like if a person that's in a couple comes to me and they want to participate in one of my programs, they're going to accelerate very, very quickly to the point where it's very likely they will outgrow the relationship that they are in. So if the other person in the relationship isn't also on board with, like I said, doing some of the teachings and doesn't have to be like the high level class, but just some of them, so that they're on board and they know what's moving through and they know what's going on, there can be a wild separation of frequency that takes place in the dynamic. Now, part of what is important is that when we hold ourselves back because we are afraid of losing somebody, that is self-abandonment. That is what self-abandonment is. When we devalue or lower our standards or lower what we know we're capable of receiving, we are pulling ourselves and we're holding ourselves back. That is what self-abandonment is. So it's really important that when you're facing these things, and I know it is not easy, I know this is not easy, but when we are facing these walls or we're facing these barriers and we're going, okay, well, I want to move forward, I want to accelerate, I want to feel more liberated and free in my own body to experience and express joy. And you're allowing yourself to be stopped from doing that because there are people in your life that either are non-believers, are skeptics, don't want to because they want to stay in their role of non-responsibility for their own life, then it really comes down to a point of choice. It's a choice point. More often than not, what I have seen or what I have witnessed, especially after receiving information like this, is that you can continue to choose to stay in a dynamic that is holding you back or lowering your frequencies, but eventually, and the timing is all up to you. You get to choose today, or you can choose in 2 months, to start rearranging the energetic dynamic. So it's not to say like just jump out of the relationship and hit the road, like go somewhere else. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that if you are undervaluing your potential to grow, and if you are undervaluing your potential to radiate, then maybe the dynamic you're in isn't really serving your well-being. And if it isn't serving your well-being, I think it's really important to take inventory and ask yourself, what parts of you are choosing to stay in a dynamic that isn't supportive to your full expression, that isn't supportive to your full experience of life in its exuberant form. I do not believe that we are here to stay complacent. I do not believe that we are here to play small. I do not believe that we are here to belittle. I do not believe that we are here to stay under the guard of our own fears. I don't believe any of that. I believe, beautiful Jennifer, that you're shifting your focus to yourself. This is what happens, and I'm speaking from experience. I've been doing this work for a very long time, over a decade now, and I've worked with a lot of different couples and individuals that are in partnership. This is what I start to notice, is that when you shift the focus to yourself, and when you continue to do the meditations, you continue to do the exercises, you go to the sound baths, or you go to the healings, whatever it is that you're choosing to do, however you're wanting to embody your journey of healing, there is an opportunity for you to be so focused and so clear on yourself that you just start to vibrate out of the frequency. You just start to vibrate out of the experience that you're in. And when you start vibrating out, you start to realize that there's a different level of potential and kindness in this world that is available for you. And so that in and of itself, it can be very triggering to the people that are around you, because they're going, oh, well, now I have to own my stuff. I have to get out of my own way. I have to do this, that, and the other. And sometimes what happens is they will project all of that stuff and just throw it onto you. It's very uncomfortable. It's not comfortable. It's not a pleasant experience when these things happen, especially when it's like our loved ones, those that are closest to us. But what we want to see and what we want to nurture within ourselves, and what we want to nurture inside of our own brothers and sisters as well, is that when we start to free ourselves, and when we start to liberate ourselves, and when we start to pull ourselves out of the cage that we have been so wildly indoctrinated in, to think of the amount of things, of ways that our society is set up that actually don't offer our own internal freedom. The idea that America is the land of the free and home of the brave is one of the wildest brainwashing, I would say, slogans that is out there. The illusion of freedom in a debt-ridden society focused on consumerism, processed food, lack of health and well-being, that is all created in a system, a school system that teaches you how to follow directions, does not teach you how to cook or grow food or pay attention to nature in any way, that forces the beautiful and the wildly powerful imagination of children to sit and focus on a desk, to start taking medications because they cannot focus, because they were not designed to come into this world and sit at a desk. Children are wildly stressed right now. The movie Monsters, Inc. has a lot more symbolism in it than we think. So when you give yourself that freedom, hi Megan, hi Jennifer, beautiful. When you give yourself that opportunity to be free in your own skin, and this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like, feels like, is like, this is what the journey is. When we find the places within ourselves that we are limited, meaning, let's say subconscious beliefs about ourselves that we adopted unconsciously from things that our mother or father told us about us. I was born as an unplanned pregnancy. We'll call it that, an unplanned pregnancy. Some may say that it was a mistake. When I asked my parents, they were like, yeah, this was not something that we planned. And they weren't ever like, well, that could be a whole nother video. But there was still an underlying thing that was going on there for me that was an awareness that something for me wasn't quite settled. That there wasn't like room for me in this world. That, I was a burden or that I was bothersome. There was like these little underlying things, right? And I'm just using this as an example, but there are so many of these things. So for me to learn to take up space, or for me to learn that that I'm here to draw attention. I'm almost 6 feet tall. You guys couldn't tell this because I'm sitting on a cushion on the floor here, but I am almost 6 feet tall. So I am a very tall human being. I'm a very tall female. There are certain, I am here to take up space, but it took me and has taken me a long time to be able to really free myself inside, liberate myself inside, to believe that I'm here and that you want to hear what I have to say. And that what I have to say is important. The amount of throat blocks and clearing of having the confidence to say what needs to be said in the moments when things are tense, to not people please, to not be codependent, to not fall victim to the patterns of control or abuse or dysfunction that are in my family line. And I mean that in absolute love. Like, we are products of our environment and the people that we are around. So this is why when I was getting my degree in psychology, they say it takes 5 generations to break a pattern of abuse. 5 generations to break a pattern or system of abuse. That means that if you are experiencing abuse in your household, or if you are experiencing things that are going on that are underlying currents to undervalue people in the household, it will take 5 generations to unravel that stuff. 5. By means of psychology. And I'll also tell you this is why I am not a psychologist. I have a degree in psychology, and I chose, after I graduated, I had the choice to go to graduate school and become a counselor, or to go to a psychic clairvoyant program. I chose to go to the psychic clairvoyant program, and the reason was this, is that when I started to learn to read energy, and I started to learn how to connect with the infinite nature of my own being, but when I learned that the karmic cycle is actually in my hands, and that I have the power to break karmic patterns that I have been on for, in some cases, thousands of years with certain people, I went, oh my goodness. There were certain things that happened in those meditation classes that freed me up beyond my wildest imagination, beyond what I even thought was possible. I didn't even know I could feel freedom in this way. I thought there were certain things that I was going to have to live my entire life with, or being with and knowing, but it is not true. None of it is true. And so this is what I mean by, this is the internal liberation that is wildly squandered. Wildly squandered. in the system that we are all indoctrinated in. So as we're shifting out and we're unraveling and we're moving through and we're learning how to be more free in our own skin, and we're seeing one person fly out of the cage, and instead of shaming them, we're going, thank you for showing me what's possible. Thank you for showing me what's possible. Thank you for showing me what's possible. We're freeing ourselves. We are liberating ourselves. We are allowing ourselves to be more open, more conscious, more present. And let me tell you, when you start doing this work, the work that I am here dedicated my entire life to share with us because of how wildly transformative it has been for me. If you all would have known where I have come from and how I got to where I am, it's possible that you would not believe me. It was not easy. It has not been easy, and some days it's still not easy. But what I know is that when you do this type of work, it does not take 5 generations to break a pattern of abuse. It does not. It will not, and it won't. When you stand with your genetics, with your ancestral line, and you go, this stops. This stops right here, right now. This stops with me. There will be no more abuse. There will be no more dysfunction. There will be no more secrets. There will be no more of any of these weird drama things that are going on. Let's start putting all cards on the table. Let's start being transparent with each other. You know why humans really actually don't have the access to telepathy in the way that they do in other planets or star systems or other dimensions? Is because there are so many secrets here. Humans aren't ready to be fully transparent. Humans aren't ready to fully put all the cards out on the table and say, hear me, see me, this is where I am, this is what I'm doing. There's so much like drive and facade to be impressive, or to create an image, or to put on a show, or to entertain. But it is not what is true. It is not what is burning and yearning inside of each of our own hearts. These are the conversations that we need to start having with each other. These are the conversations that build human connection. These are the conversations that build trust between brothers and sisters. These are the conversations that bring us into such a unified field of connectivity that we say, I do not want you to feel that pain. I do not want you to feel that sadness. In fact, what can I do to be with you, to help you through this without being codependent, without doing your work for you, and without enabling you, but being able to see and say, I see you, I feel you. You know, most people, when they share something with you, they don't want you to fix their problem. They don't want you to take it away. They want to feel seen, they want to feel heard, and they want to feel supported. Every single one of us has that capability within us right now. All you need to simply say or be with in that moment is, I hear you. I hear you. I'm with you. You know, that we're grabbing each other's hands and we're moving through this life with each other in a powerful way because we want to be here. We want to experience this world, and we don't want to be alone. Not a single person here wants to be alone. And what we're suffering from in this world right now is wild human disconnection. Wild human disconnection. So it is up to us to connect with ourselves. It is up to us to connect in with our own inner being. It is up to us to connect in with our own inner intention. It is up to us to grab the hands of our brothers and sisters and saying, I won't let you slip. I'm not going to let it take me down either. So there's a balance with that, right? There's a balance with the movement of how we are being rearranged and how we are being recentered. And this was something that I mentioned at the beginning of the call, is that if we set the intention that we are unifying with our soul family, our soul tribe, you know that it's soul family and soul tribe. It's like, how do we identify? You know that it's your soul family and soul tribe because there's a particular feeling of familiarity. There's a particular feeling of home that happens. There's a particular level of comfort, and it's not like, okay, well, if you came from dysfunction and this person's dysfunctional, it reminds you of home. It's not that. That's attraction. That's called trauma bonding. That's a whole different thing. What I'm talking about is like there's a sensation of warmth that happens in your heart. I've had a lot of people reflect that they feel that when they would watch my videos. It's that there's an attunement of home within. So as we set the intention at the beginning of this call, before most of us were here, that is what we're calling in, is the lines of connection to our soul family, the lines of connection to our soul tribe are activated in this sense that we are able to truly and very clearly be able to see who they are, that they are illuminated in our field, and that we know that they are powerful alliances for us to be able to build and co-create together. So opening our hearts, opening our minds, opening our connection, opening that deeper sense of connection to self and our own health and well-being, that is offering us that guidance that is going to be unifying to our soul family, unifying to the infinite gathering that is here, unifying to the leaders and way showers that are showing up in powerful ways. And there will be waves. There are people right now that are on like goose in the headwinds, and there will be more waves of people that are goose in the headwinds, and there will be more waves, because there are only, what I've heard in the last year is that there are only 2 to 5% of the planet is conscious. So when you look and you see that there is, Amy, thank you for that reflection. When you look and you see, like on Instagram, or you're comparing yourself to this, that, or the other, let's say you're following 5 accounts, and so then you're like, everybody's doing it. No, they're not. Keep going. Keep going. Keep rising. If you feel called to share, share. If you feel called to ride your bike to help the environment, ride your bike. If you feel called to pick up trash because you feel called to support and help with the environment in that way, if you feel called to stop using plastics, if you feel called, there's so many different ways that we are here, and that's where, when it comes to finding your purpose and finding what is your lane, what is your path of alignment, it has everything to do what is bringing you the most joy. That's what it is. It's whatever is bringing you the most joy. So when you do more of what brings you the most joy, you're actually doing more of what is absolutely, fully, and completely in alignment with your heart center. And so regulating your nervous system so that you're not doing things out of panic, but that you're doing them from a place of, I want this. I want to experience this. I want to feel this. I want to embody this. I want to be present with this. Let's go ahead and start bringing in some codes. And then Gracia, if you're ready, and let me know, am I pronouncing that right? If you're ready, we'll go ahead and do a reading with you after just sharing some healing energy here. Ia no iaku upu sayata akanaki aya unokua pua haaka sasanaya ia tatake ionai uapuaka haakana saya ia tana hiiaka uapua naha ia wasutunaya ianai I tuakua haaya wana aya wa uapua haaya wa uanaha aya ia haanaya hia wa uapua saya haanatia ia sasia nea akanaya ia tia hanaya ya ia no pua pua susu nahia ia wapua haaka ia tatanai ia sa nia wa uapua haakanai ia tanaya ya wa wapua nea wa uapua nia ia wa uapua ya wa anaya ya. All right, what they're showing me, this is a very specific channel. What they're showing me is that there are some things that are in your world that have seemed out of reach, or that they have seemed like too complex for you to understand. They're showing me that there's a learning period that's coming, and that it is important for you to learn what you need to learn in order to get to the next steps. So when you learn what you need to learn and you see what you need to see, it will actually bring you into the next steps of your trajectory that are going to bring you into a loving state of clear presence with your higher self. But it's also that there are some certain things, there's like some skills that need to be learned in order for you to actually be able to embody what you need to for the next step. There's been some resistance to learning those skills out of laziness or apathy, lack of motivation. Things feel really dense right now. That it's very possible that you're not even holding your own energy. That what is bringing that feeling of apathy or that feeling of laziness, it isn't actually your own. So what we want to do is, bring a new sense of heightened awareness into the skill level that is honoring and honing your truest and divine nature, your truest and divine potential. So whatever you have, it's funny, it's like whatever you've had an interest in, but maybe it's actually a non-interest in. Like you need to learn this one thing in order to get to the next thing. They're showing me that it's important for you to do that part. For me, it has to do with very technical things in like the back end of my website sort of thing. It's very like mundane, but they're like, it's important for you to do this so that you then know and that you then have the confidence moving forward to do the next. Hi, Chloe. Welcome, welcome, my love. Okay, Grazia, let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to go ahead and just simply start with a healing for you. I hope that is okay. I do see where your nervous system, it's like it's strong on the outside, but on the inside, I'm still seeing that there's a lot of turmoil that's being held on to. I'm going to recommend that you purchase the book Existential Kink on Audible and start listening to it. It's called Existential Kink. It is, this woman does an incredible job of flipping healing on its shadow belly. It's like she does a really, really good job of showing us the circumstances and things that we are connecting into and doing are really because, or the things that we're attracting are really because there's a deeper part of us that wants it, that wants to experience whatever it is that's happening in our lives. That we're saying, no, we don't want that because it's so painful, or it's so this, or it's so that. But ultimately, there's a deeper part inside of us that's going like, yeah, I like that. And until you get into that part that's like, yeah, I like that, it's going to keep happening. These things are going to keep taking place. It is a book that brings like rude awakenings and some of the most powerful ahas I have ever experienced. And you're like, oh my God. And I've been doing this work, like I said, for like long time, and I was blown away and amazed. I really love the perspective that she takes. So Existential Kink. All right, beautiful. So let's go ahead and just bring some light in through connecting into the center of your own heart system. I'm also seeing that it's going to be important. Chloe, I mean, I recommend it for everybody. It's great. I was listening, so in Bali here, we ride motorbikes. I don't have a car. I have a motorbike. It's not quite a motorcycle, and it's not quite a scooter, but it's close. And I was listening to it on that, and so much energy started moving through my body. I was like, I cannot listen to this while I'm driving. Wow. Just because of the realizations within myself that were coming through just by listening to it. So powerful. The other thing that I'm going to recommend, Grazia, is to find sea moss. Sea moss is, so in Chinese medicine, they say that the way that things look are things that actually help that part of our body. So sea moss it's seaweed, and it's like all over the place. It looks like our nervous system. So when our nervous system gets fritzed, or when our nervous system gets fried, two things that really help. Celery juice, raw celery juice in the morning on an empty stomach. And then what I also would recommend is sea moss. And what you can do is you can soak it, you can find it dehydrated and then soak it in water, blend it up, and it makes kind of like a goopy, like a moss sort of thing, and you can just eat a spoonful of it a day. You don't want to make the batches too big, maybe like, 5 or 6 days, and just keep eating that. But sea moss is like a miracle. It's like nature's miracle in helping us with our nervous system and all sorts of other systems inside of our body. But that was one that came through like ding. We need to talk about sea moss. Okay, so healing energy straight to the heart. you got like homework assignments right away. Let's go ahead and see. Go ahead and place both hands on your heart for me. Be with yourself in this moment. Simply say, I've got you. I've got you. Really build that relationship with yourself. Ionaya uapua ha'akanaka uapua satanai hi'iawa. I anai iawa uapu uta etene ia ha'akanai. I tuapuaka ha'anakai i sasaniawa ha'ayawa. Iawa iawani iawa uapua nai iawa uani iawa akanai. I tanai iawa sasanai atanakai kuapuaka tatake ania hia akakanaki. Susunukuapu ututukunakai iawa uapu uatatake. I uatatanai a sasanai I kuatotakai. Iwanai iawa punai tatana iawa pua sasanai iawa putunakai. Wanatana haasana kuapunakai awa susuniki. I tuana haakana kuapu sususanai tatake onakai tutukarake tutakai tutukuruku takai tutake oapanakai kitakiriku tukuruku takai naya tatake na haaka na sasasana haatana na katana na sasana ke tate tanake teteke tatake tukutukutake tukutukatake takana karaki nakai kitake kunukurakai sususunuku tutukunakai hikakakanaki haakatake wanaka akuapo takatake oh tutakake tukutukupurakai anakai o tatake onaka ia katake tukutukurapuanakai kakanaki sasanakai I tutukurupuaka haakakonakai sukatanaki haakanaka kuapupupukanakai ikatatake oapunakai iwapu sasanaki iwapuka haanakai kakanakai pukua haakanaka susunukua pua tutakanaka ata anaka ia wapo kanakai otanakai ia haanaki wapu kukuna haakawa pukua satanaki. Big deep breaths. Couple of big deep breaths. Remember to breathe. Connecting root chakra to the center of the planet. And my body is just going. Sometimes this happens. It doesn't usually happen on camera. But just simply letting your body do what it needs to do, feeling the energy move through. Sometimes your hands just need to shake. It's because energy is moving through your body. If you feel that you need to wiggle or stretch your neck, whatever it is that you need to do, let your body move. A lot of big clearings on that one of focal points. It's like the focal points of when, or the access point of where foreign energies or foreign consciousness or entities come in. There's a lot of focus on that one, on resolving. I'm like, whoa, that was very strong for me too. It's like that internal space inside of us where there is insecurities, not truly seeing our worth. A lot of this is genetic. It's what gets passed down to us through our own DNA. It's what gets passed down to us through our own genetic line. And when it gets passed down to us in that way, there is an inconsistency in our own auric field. And so it's like those are the points, or those are the parts where we get kind of out of sorts, we'll say, out of sorts. And when we're out of sorts, or when we're having those low moments, it's when these thought patterns arise. I've been having a lot of very interesting insights on entities recently, where these entities aren't necessarily mm, external consciousnesses that are here to attack us or like do these crazy things, even though sometimes it can feel that way. Um, Rather, what I'm seeing, as I have been witnessing it here in the city that I live in, because there's a lot of permission for my kind of work. There's a lot of medicine workers and healers, and yeah, I mean, you name it. We've like got some sort of healing prescription, and that somebody's a specialist in. But as I've been witnessing and watching these things, what I'm seeing is where I have seen or perceived that there have been massive or major entity attachments to people. And what I've seen more consistently is that it is specifically men. And I believe that the reason that it is specifically men is because men don't have as much permission in this world to feel their emotions. So starting from childhood, their very, very, very deep needs are not met emotionally. And so because those needs are not met emotionally, they actually become wildly emotionally stunted as well as narcissistic. And so that is really where and how I'm seeing narcissism even become a thing, right? I hope not, but I'm sure we've all had some sort of deeper intimate experiences with narcissists. They are very challenging people to really get to or to get through or to connect with. And it's because there are a lot of egoic walls, and a lot of the egoic walls are defense mechanisms. And they're defense mechanisms from needs not being met in childhood. So the reason why they also say, when I was getting my degree in psychology, is that narcissists are very hard they're basically like lost cause. It's like, well, there's no prescription, there's no this, there's no that. And this is why also why I didn't go through with psychology, because I was like, this system is wildly flawed from what I could tell, even at that age, 10 years ago. But what I can see now is that these personality traits or these personality disorders come from very, very basic needs not being met. And so narcissists are challenging to get through because the egoic defenses that were built to protect, our ego's job is to protect us from feeling pain. Our ego's job is to protect us from feeling the things that we don't want to feel. This is why the healing path is not for the faint of heart. We have to face the parts of ourselves that we have deemed ugly enough to bury deep inside of our own subconscious. So then when we get to a certain emotional capacity or a certain age where we go, okay, I'm ready, I need to unpack this. Like, it's really creating a hindrance in my ability to attract a partner. It's really creating a hindrance in my ability to get myself off drugs. It's really creating a challenge for me to like do these things. And so we start to go, okay, well, what is it within me that is creating these patterns that are being evoked over and over again? And so oftentimes narcissists don't want to go into it because the well of the painful experience within them was so terrible, was so horrific, that it is actually still manifesting as a block, but also manifesting as a pattern through the experience of their life. And so then in the energetic world, what we can see is going, oh, well, I can see that there's an entity attached to this person, but what I'm now seeing, and a lot of this has been through like resolving a lot of this stuff within me. And there are, yes, there are attachments, there are these things that happen. It's complex, it's not simple, it's not cut and dry. But what I am seeing is these big, deep, dark, nasty, like, ugly ones that are really, really, really aggressive and controlling and contriving and manipulative and like, really judge-worthy. Let's just put it that way. Is that it's coming from such a deep, 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 deep subconscious wound within these people. And I want to be really careful with these words. because compassion can get us very far. But if the person who is carrying this energy is not able to have compassion with themselves and integrate it with themselves and love and honor themselves, then they will continue to cause harm in people around them. So when we get involved and we are in an intimate relationship with people in this way, and we're not able to see clearly how we got ourselves involved, read the book Existential King. And then two, the other one is going to be that there's a certain level of enabling, because there's also a certain level of attraction that's going on, which is a trauma bond. So when we resolve the trauma bond within ourselves, we resolve the part inside of ourselves that is attracted to this kind of behavior, because there is a part, no matter how much you're going, I don't like it, I can't stand it, I can't this, there's a part that's continuing to tolerate it. It's that part within ourselves that is requiring our own attention. It's that part within ourselves that is being enabled. It's that part within ourselves that is saying, I'm choosing this. I'm choosing to continue to be a part of this pattern. And so when we focus on ourselves, and Jennifer, this came up at the beginning of this call too, is that when we focus on ourselves, we start to learn that we have the power to unravel the karma. Psychology does not teach you that. Talk therapy will never teach you that. Yeah, PTSD from the relationship. I'm 33, I'm still healing from a relationship I was in when I was 24, 25, it was like 24, 25, 26. How you shed light on the part of yourselves. Yes, the how is always the question, right? That's a lot of what I teach in my courses. That's a lot of what I teach in the classes, because it isn't, I mean, the short answer, you sit with it. You sit with it. You be with it. You learn to reparent it. You learn to participate with. But in most cases, in some cases, you're able to connect with it alone. But in some cases, the reason you haven't been able to connect with it alone is because you haven't been meant or designed to go into it alone. We can reparent ourselves, and sometimes it just simply takes the presence of somebody who is skilled at holding space, to being with us in those dense or challenging emotions, so that we know that we are safe to let go of the control. Those things are really challenging to do alone until you learn the skill set within yourself to hold space for yourself. But these are things that in my experience, are learned from experience. I know that when I first found my path to my healing, there was no way I could have gone to the depth of the healing by myself, because it's terrifying, it's scary, it's really easy to talk yourself out of it. There's no accountability. It's like, fine, I'll just get to it tomorrow. I've been living with it for 20 years. What's another day? But when you have somebody that knows what they're doing, that is a trained practitioner, a lot of people want to poo-poo on healers and this and that, but let me tell you, once you start to experience the depth of what goes on with somebody, when you have a connection with somebody that has met themselves in the deepest, darkest of places of their own soul and has come out to share with you and tell you how to move through that maze yourself, it will shortcut years of suffering for you. Years of suffering. It's a lot. There's so much unraveling that we have to do on this planet. There's so much unraveling that we have to do within ourselves. You know that 10 generations back, it's over 2,000 people. So from where you are, one generation back, parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, great into the ninth is 10 generations back, over 2,000 ancestors, just from 10 generations. The hurt, the pain, the cries, the tears, the repressed emotions, the things that weren't felt, all of that gets stored and passed in through your DNA, through your mother's line. You know that the egg that creates you is actually in your mother's womb, or is in your mother's ovaries when she is in your grandmother's womb. So the egg that is you is actually like created in the womb of your grandmother. So genetics are passed down through emotions, through energies. Our genes are wildly affected by energy. This is why we are able to actually heal our own DNA. This is why we're able to activate our own DNA in such powerful ways. This is why, and this is how this works. So that's why when I'm saying, okay, psychology says 5 generations to break a pattern of abuse, and I'm saying that's not the case anymore. We got to get into the quantum field. We have to connect with our infinite nature. We have to connect with the immortal part of our soul that knows how to unravel this. Our higher self that has access to the infinite information of all that is and all that is beyond, because it knows how to actually upgrade our DNA and bring us into the crystalline form, which is actually how we are anchoring the heaven on earth frequencies on this planet. We're doing it inside of our bodies. We're not going anywhere. The new earth is not something that needs to be built. 5D is already here. It's literally in the air between me and this camera and you and your glass of water sitting next to you, whatever it is. We're already living in the 5th dimension. We just don't know it. So what we need to do is we need to know it. We need to know that we're living in the 5th dimension. We need to know that we are already there. We have already arrived. We just need to know it. Then we can interact with it. Then we can participate with it. Then we can become the conscious co-creators that we came here to be. That's how this is all working. So I'm sitting here on YouTube every day trying to get the good news out as quickly as I can so that we can have more embodied, open-hearted light beings that are taking full advantage of the momentum that is here and available to us during this period of the Great Awakening. I know when we look out of our windows, the world is like gone to shit, and we're like, where are we living in this hellhole? My God. But when you start to look at, well, I'm just getting fired up. When you start to look at the beauty that is here and the beauty that is resonating at the core of your soul and the beauty that is like, oh my gosh, so powerful and inside of you and available to you in every single moment, just one thought opens the door. One thought. You're always one thought away from a better feeling. One thought away from a better feeling. Then you put another thought on top of that and another thought on top of that and another thought on top of that, and then you're starting to feel really, really, really good. That's when you know that you're getting closer to alignment. And when you're closer to alignment, you're closer to your multidimensional self and your awareness of mind, heart, and intuition. So all of these things come together really beautifully. They all come together really powerfully. They all come together all in one powerful, beautiful line. When we're able to sit with the parts inside of ourselves that we have rejected. So, if and when you do feel that you are ready to find somebody to work with one-on-one, ask them as many questions as you need to feel aware and to feel confident that they have met themselves in the way that you are desiring to explore within yourself. It's the difference between trying to drive from one state to 4 states over without a map and without a guide versus having somebody that is maybe not driving the car for you, but is driving the car ahead. Of course, there's all types of support that you can receive and that you can get, and it's up to you to open the initiative within yourself and ask your guides and your higher self to lead you to the information that is available to you that is going to open your heart in really powerful ways. And so this is also one of the areas that I am calling in help in my own world and in my own, I'll call it a business, but it's a movement really. I have for years, I grew my Facebook account pretty big. A lot of the names I'm seeing here weren't there for that. So always good to see new faces. But I really focused on that. I didn't really care about YouTube. I didn't really care about Instagram. I really focused on Facebook. Well, recently Facebook has been challenging up one side and down the other. I even had an account that had over 100,000 followers. It was completely taken down, not reinstated. I got the runaround for over 9 months trying to get that going again. It has been wildly challenging. And at the core of my truth, what I have been wanting to do from the beginning anyway, is to build a community of grassroots, heart-to-heart connections of people that are referring and bringing people into the community because they're experiencing so much beauty and they're experiencing so many benefits from it that they just can't stop talking about it and that they want more people to experience it. Well, what I've done in these last couple of days, I had just more challenges with Facebook ads, and I finally said, I don't want to do this anymore. And so this is where and why I need your help. And in asking for your help, I am paying a 30% commission. So what I'm going to do is keep most of the programs priced around $333. So every single person that you share this program with, you're getting a $111 commission. You're getting over $100 in payment that goes to you. So I would really, really love your help. What the protocol is right now, how it's set up, is that when you join the 7 weeks to embody your higher self, you get invited to become an affiliate. So when you get invited to become an affiliate, you sign in with your PayPal account and your email address, and then you'll get an opportunity to log in to the affiliate membership zone. I'm going to start teaching affiliate courses in the next few weeks. Like we're hitting the ground running with this one to start getting it out there. We're also going to have social media posts and things to make it as easy as possible for you to share with your friends and family members to bring them on board. Every single person who joins is invited to become an affiliate. The reason that I'm doing this is because there are so many people, loved ones that I have talked to that are challenged financially right now and are not able to do the things that they want to do. My business has definitely been challenged because I've been running it digitally through social media. I've had one obstacle after the other, and when I really sit with it, I go, okay, what is it that I really want? What I really want is to grow a grassroots, heart-centered community. And I want to support my friends and family to be able to make healthy livings while they are doing that. And so this is just the beginning. My plan is to also make a membership zone and then have higher ticket options, which is basically just full pay for things rather than monthly, that is all 30% commission based. So if you're interested in doing that, the first step, the first thing that you need to do, the easiest way to do it is to go to Instagram, pulling this up right now. Go to my channel here at Sitara Speaks, and then it's the link in the bio. So the link in the bio here is bringing you to a Linktree page. This Linktree page will bring you to Embody Your Higher Self. It says start here. Click on that. then it'll bring you to a page that tells you all about Embody Your Higher Self. So when you join in to the Embody Your Higher Self, all the information is here, but the deal is that on the bottom there's going to be a little bit of information. Actually, it's not on this one yet because we haven't updated the link because it's still 222. So if you're seeing this for 222, it's because what my goal is to bring in a group of affiliates for that price, and by the end of the week we're going to raise the price to $333 so that every affiliate that brings new people in, like I said, is getting the $100 commission. So jump in, join in, please participate. I really need your help with this. I cannot do this without you. I really do need your help with this. And there is no limit to how many people you can bring in, no limit to how many people they can bring in. And as we get going, yes, we're going to set up bonus structures, we're going to set up all these other things so that we are rewarding people who are participating even more in a way that, yeah, just brings more incentive to bring more people into it. So this is the beginning. This is the first wave. This is the grassroots. This is the putting the seeds in the soil. So if you want to be a part of that with me, I would really, 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 really appreciate it. I would love your participation. I would love your support. I would love your help. Absolutely. Part of this growth for me has been, I really genuinely think it's been putting my Wonder Woman cape down, my big giant, cape of independence that says I can do it, I'm strong, I'm a badass, I'm this, I'm that. Well, I have done and accomplished a lot with that mentality. And it is time for me to put that cape down and retire that mentality and retire that mindset and say, please join me, please help me get this off the ground. Yes, Chloe, I think you're already registered. I think you're still in. So I'll definitely reach out to you and get you some more of those details. But if you're interested, Instagram is the easiest way to get a hold of me. So if you message me on Instagram, I can get that to you. We'll set up, I think, a Telegram forum. I'm still, it's so new that I'm still working on creating how we're going to communicate with each other, how we're going to get updates. Like I said, I'm going to start doing affiliate classes and just affiliate communications and conversations so that you feel really supported as we're moving forward to do this with each other. And like I said, if you have anyone in mind that is challenged financially or struggling, this is also a way for them to be able to bring income in. With the membership site, I already have a membership site going. I already have a membership group, community going. I'm going to rearrange it a little bit, but my goal, again, is to make this a $333 per month. $333 per month. When you enroll somebody in, you still get that monthly commission of 30% every single month. So if you sign in 3 people, that covers your participation. So you're actually in my advanced level psychic development training and group course where I teach you the hows of everything. And then with that, you also get the opportunity to receive monthly ongoing commissions. So let's say you sign in 10 people, or I guess it'd have to be 13, you're getting paid over $1,000 per month, as long as they stay in the programs. So I'm really doing what I can to make it as viable, as upfront, as communicative, and as easy as possible to be making a healthy living, not just some change on the side. Like, let's get this going. It will take some time for it to pick up, but I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. I would love for your help. Chloe, I'm going to ask for you to come to maybe the next live reading. I will definitely read you, and I can also actually just include your reading in the next time slot, which will be, I do a time on Thursdays that is Bali time 4 p.m., Paris time 10 a.m., and I think it's like the middle of the night for US. But with that, I'll just include you in that and I'll send you the recording for it. Thank you so much for being here. Let's go ahead and do one more code of light. bringing in and closing this opportunity. And also, please, if you are still here, you're still with me, you're still listening to this through the end, I ask that you join me in prayer to bring in and call in the Soul Aligned tribe, the Soul Aligned family that is here to help grow Monad through our affiliate. Really excited to see this bloom, really excited to see this blossom. I'm also just a few hundred hours short of monetizing this YouTube channel, so watching this channel is also super helpful. I feel like I'm just right there on the pinnacle of so many things right now, so getting that extra oomph over the hump. I really, really, really appreciate your love, your kindness, your support, and your prayers to get this movement up and out and running. So, Iona ya awasatai ia haaka kuapu ukutanai isisiana ya haakanai ia ka susuna awapuaka ia tanakai ia sasana ia wapu ua tatana ia wapua haanai ki ia sasaniki ia tatakeania ia wapuaka haakana ia kanakai sisiana haaka nuku wapua ia wa sasanai hi ia tanai ia haaka wapua. Beautiful. And they're also telling me that if you're interested, you can even just comment in the comments below, and I will get you set up with the link and information necessary as well. So with that, my friends, I absolutely love you. I adore you. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for bringing your beautiful questions and your open hearts. Thank you for experiencing this healing journey. And as we go forth, may we integrate the healing and the lessons received with courage, self-love, and compassion. Our session here is very much complete. All right, my loves, I adore you. Mwah, thank you.